to the first episode of More Reps Podcast. I'm Kwbana Beckles.
I'm Chadwick Brown.
And we named it More Reps because we both feel that in life, the more repetitions you can get out of something, the better off you'll be. So we're just going to give a little background on ourselves. Start off with Chad.
All right, so I was born in Toronto. I moved to Hamilton when I was 8 years old. I went to school at Surround McNabb for the first 2 years and then changed over to St. Thomas More for the rest. When I was at McNabb, I played football for the first 2 years, and I was actually pretty good at it. And I was actually felt like I could have did something out of it, but my mom didn't want me to play at all because she knew it was a violent sport. So I kind of talked her into it. She let me do it. Year two, a dude speared me right here, cracked a rib. End of my career. Mom said, "Yeah, no, we're pulling you out. We're not doing that." So that was the end of my sports career for the most part. But I always had a passion for music. So after I finished high school at St. Thomas More, I went to the TRICEPS Institute in Toronto and studied musical engineering and business. So I always kind of knew how to do music, but I didn't know the whole business aspect. That's a whole next thing in itself. You know what I mean? So once I finished there, I helped some of my friends build a studio downtown Hamilton called Original Man Sounds, and it was running well. We were making money off it. It was good and everything. So off of that, that kind of spawned my music career more so, because I had a facility to actually record it at. And off that, I released a bunch of music independently. There's some stuff right now still on YouTube, still on Spotify and whatnot, under the name Rash Dawn, if you choose to look at it. And a couple of my accolades from that, I did a bunch of shows just around the surrounding areas, Hamilton, Kitchener, Brantford, Oshawa. I opened up for acts like Machine Gun Kelly and Cardinal Fischel, Choclair. My song was on a rail station in Buffalo called WBLK, and used to have an unsigned hype kind of thing on there. And my song was #1 on there for maybe 3 weeks in a row. And off of that, I got nominated for the award of Best Canadian Rap Artist through their radio station. And at the time, I was up against Drake, but like I said, Drake wasn't nowhere who he is now back then. And I didn't win it, but it's still a good look to get nominated like that. But still, yeah, so I came with more of a music background, a little bit of sports and stuff, and that's pretty much where I started.
Nice. Yeah, so myself, similar story. Born in Toronto, raised in Hamilton. At a young age, always playing all the street sports like everyone did, road hockey, basketball, football, that kind of stuff. Went actually to St. Mary's all the way in the West End, because at the time my mom didn't feel the old cathedral was a good fit for me. So went to St. Mary's for 3 years and then decided I wanted to really concentrate on basketball, then moved back over to Cathedral and stayed there for 2 years, and I was able to secure a scholarship, went down to the States for 4 years,
Nice.
Got my degree, and then after that played roughly 10 years overseas in Europe and Asia playing professional basketball.
Wow, nice. Okay, all right. So off of that, we both obviously have a passion for fitness.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
now we're kind of going to get into how both of us kind of found our path into the fitness industry. All right, so now how we got into fitness. My story was I was a really dark place in terms of my life. I just got a divorce from my first wife, and I was eating so unhealthy. I didn't really give a shit about myself. I would legit go to KFC and get a bucket of KFC and smash the whole thing.
Wow.
10 pieces, just like that. And wash it down with a 2-liter thing of Orange Crush. I was not living well, I wasn't eating well, I didn't give a shit. I started smoking. I gained a whole lot of weight, and then I just was not happy with the way I looked. I wasn't happy with my life, and I legit woke up one day and nothing really sparked it. I legit just woke up and said, I don't want to live like this no more. And that's when I made the change. So the first thing I changed was my diet. And off of that, I wasn't doing nothing physical at all, just changed diet. I cut out all the sugar, all the processed shit. And then I dropped weight like crazy, but I got really, really skinny. So I decided, okay, I need to start getting into some other form of fitness. So I started jogging. Off of jogging, I had no knowledge at all. So skinny, I started jogging, I got even skinnier. To the point my mom was pissed off at me. She was like, don't you dare, she legit said, don't you dare lose another pound, you know what I mean? She was on me. It's okay, so I did a little bit of research and said, okay, I'll start doing some weight training. And this is going back maybe 2017. And at that point, as I started lifting, I didn't know really what I was doing, just based off things I seen online and on YouTube and whatnot. And really got a passion for that. And time went on, I started learning better. I met my wife. We both found we had a passion for it. And we said, hey, let's go on this journey together. And
Nice.
so as I started seeing changes in her, she started seeing changes in me. We pushed each other, and then we said we enjoy training. We also enjoy training each other. So from that, we're like, okay, well, maybe we should just be personal trainers, you know? And so we went and we got our certifications in that. And then off of that, we were green. We didn't know anything. So she said she actually went to school with you and knew you were in the fitness industry and whatnot. So she reached out to you and said, hey, you could be our mentor and whatnot. You said, gladly. And we kind of hit it off from then. And we've advanced so much. We've been personal trainers for about a year now at this point, and we've advanced so much just based on who we have around us and who we talk to and things we learned. So that's kind of how I found my fitness.
Nice.
How about yourself?
I think my fitness journey started back with basketball. Had some injuries just because I was playing at a high level, but I didn't have the knowledge around how certain foods were affecting my body. So I was eating enough calories to sustain my workout and my practices and my games, but it wasn't the right things.
Got it.
Things that were targeting muscle tissue breakdown, such as like cornstarches and syrup, stuff like that, corn syrup. And I just dug deep into the educational side of it and then changed around my diet. And then I would say the second half of my professional career was way better, way less injuries. Mobility went up, moved way better, felt better. Hydration was a lot better. So then towards the end of my basketball career, I just decided, you know what, the best fit for me is to stay in the health and wellness kind of sector. So I started doing some personal training in my last couple of years playing so that I would have a base when I was done. So that as soon as I was retired from basketball, I just shifted right into personal training, nutritional coaching, and just a little bit of mentorship, just trying to give back the knowledge that I was able to obtain through the educational side of it to anyone who was an athlete at that time coming up.
Perfect. No, it makes sense to me. And then off of that, kind of spawned the thing we got going on right now with United Wellness. That's our rehab clinic. And it's just an amazing environment here, you know what I mean? Everyone kind of jives. We all learn off each other. We all bounce ideas off each other. And there's no egos and none of that stuff here. You know what I mean? We have a good foundation of people here. And things are picking up nice with that. So, but now let's kind of get more into like our current lifestyle, like how we're living right now, whether it be nutrition, how we're training and whatnot. All right, so now we're gonna kind of get into our current lifestyle. What I'm doing right now, like I still work a regular 9-to-5 job, but I'm balancing that with also being a personal trainer. It gets difficult times, but hey, it's a grind. You gotta start somewhere, and it's running well so far. I'm able to do it without losing my mind, so something's working. I'm kind of living more on the bodybuilder type style right now in terms of my training and my nutrition. I have aspirations of trying to do a show next year. I want to do a physique show. I'm still kind of on the fence because I know it takes a lot out of you, and a lot of things are going to suffer.
Yeah, for sure.
So my wife Nicole's already kind of like, hey, like when you get down to crunch time and you're grumpy, you can't live here. You know what I'm saying? You come visit me on the weekends, like when we first started hooking up, but during the week she can't do it. So it's kind of like I don't know, but we'll see. Either or, I'm still pursuing that lifestyle. So my training block right now is kind of more of an upper lower 4 days a week. So one day upper, second day lower, rest, upper again, then lower. But we've really been trying to concentrate on good form, good technique, and slowing down the tempo. We actually hired a coach to kind of help us with our nutrition part because we're so busy. It's kind of hard to keep the nutrition part on lock, and that's the part that's really falling at wayside because there's so much stuff going on. Between training people, working, and training ourselves, the nutrition's hard to keep up. So he's really helping us stay on track with that. And we learn a lot from him also. And yeah, really just slowing down the tempo, getting good contractions, getting good range of motion on our reps. And yeah, that's just other than that, just being a dad and trying to enjoy life and being there for my kids. That's pretty much how I'm living these days, man.
Nice. Myself, so I have a similar training block where I try to go upper lower twice a week. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. And again, like Chad said, we have the ability to train at a commercial gym here, but I also have a garage gym at my house, which allows me the flexibility to train when I can't get over here. Or if I'm watching the kids real quick, I can just get out for a quick lift. And most times they're in there with me. I'm a big believer of having them, starting them young with the weights and just letting them see kind of what I do so that they can replicate it. And that's going to be like a lifestyle for them going forward.
Perfect.
Because they're both into sports, dancing, all that kind of stuff. So it's just an easy transition for them. So again, I do a upper body day, lower body, rest, upper body, lower body, then take 2 days off. So I feel right now where I am, I'm not really competing for anything. I do play basketball once a week or once every 2 weeks, so a little bit of my training still athletic based, so a little bit higher repetitions, a little bit faster speed. But again, I play with my program all the time throughout the year where I'll slow it down. I don't really need too much more strength, but I do still once a month have some heavy days where I lift just to make sure the tendons and ligaments are staying strong.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And then, yeah, my biggest thing right now, ending off 2022, kind of going into 2023, would be concentrating more on my hydration because I know I slack there a lot, and then also just dialing in the nutrition a little bit better.
Super important things. Yeah. Super important things because you can work out till the cows come home. If the nutrition isn't good and you're not hydrated, something's going to be falling through the cracks.
For sure.
Yeah, nutrition is definitely key because, like you were just saying, it was a struggle for us too. You know what I mean? So, but tying the reins, bring up the next level, see what happens next year. You know what I mean? So next thing we're going to get into is we call it the Superset sets. So we fire 2 different little topics back and forth at each other. Pick one and give a little brief description as to why we chose that one. So I'm going to start off and throw in a Kwbana here. Chicken or beef?
Grew up on chicken, I think because of the price point for my mom when she was working, but I prefer now beef. I think my body digests beef a lot better than chicken.
Okay.
I have tried some more natural or free range chicken. I think that sits a little bit better for me, but most of the stuff in the grocery store is going to be grain fed, so I don't really typically go to that. Most of my beef that I do get is from a butcher. I try to shop locally if I can, and then try to get it as close to grass fed as possible. You're not going to get fully, especially in the wintertime, but yeah, I prefer beef over chicken.
So you take a steak over a chicken breast
all day long.
Any day of the week.
Any day of the week, for sure.
Fair enough.
All right, I'll fire one back at you. Plant protein versus animal protein.
Okay. If we're going by sheer flavor and consistency, I'd have to say animal whey.
Okay.
Again, it just blends better. Whether you're doing it, I usually use almond milk for myself. Whether you're doing almond milk, water, whatever, it seems to have a better consistency. Where plant can kind of be more chalky. Yeah. But I found over the years that the whey's really mess with my digestion. Yeah. So We've definitely switched to a plant-based more so recently. You get less gassy, less bloaty. You know, it digests way better. And the type of plant proteins they got nowadays actually are pretty good in terms of flavor and consistency. They actually stepped it up. But I remember I tried one a few years ago and it was complete ass. It was like the worst thing I've had in my life. And I was like, nah, whey all day. But definitely these days more so plant-based for sure. One I got for you. Would you rather train upper or lower?
I used to hate lower just for the simple fact of how long, being a taller lifter, how long I would see my gains and that progression.
Yes.
So I would train hard all the time, legs, and not see anything happening, but not knowing and having the knowledge that I have to train a little bit harder because my ligaments and my muscle tendons are longer. So it's going to take a little bit longer for that area to develop. But right now I prefer training lower body just because I feel if my lower body is strong, my whole body is going to be strong.
Fair, yeah.
So I know for a fact if my squat and my deadlift are strong, for sure my pull-ups and my bench press.
Everything, it translates to the upper very well. Very good. Okay, I like that.
All right, back at you. Biceps or triceps?
I'm gonna say nowadays triceps, and the reason why is because I feel like I plateau with my biceps. Okay. And at the end of the day, your biceps is only 1/3 of your arm. Your tricep is the most meatier part of your arm. It's 2/3 of your arm. So if you build up the tricep more when you're hitting a plateau on your biceps, that's gonna make your arm look more bigger, rounder, girthier even. And biceps, it's honestly boring. Yeah. Everything's a curl. Exactly. The cable curl, Zotman curl, they're all curls. With tricep, there's different things. You can go over your head. You can do kickbacks. There's so many different things you can do for triceps. Even a close grip bench, that's more tricep. You know, it's more exciting, I guess. Where curling it's so boring. Like as much as I like training arms, and a lot of people say I have nice arms, I can't stand arms because it's just all curls and it's boring. So I take tricep over bicep any day, any day of the week.
Nice.
Last one I got for you is kind of more on a music type thing. Wu-Tang or Mobb Deep? Tough one.
It is. When I started first listening to hip hop really hardcore, I think it was the same time, kind of like when 36 Chambers was out. So I would say I'm more Wu-Tang.
Okay.
Gone to Mobb Deep a little bit later on with
Got
Quiet
it.
Storm and that kind of when they
Yeah.
started to take over a little bit.
Yeah.
But I would say Wu-Tang, just because even after they kind of went out and did their own independent projects, I stayed with all the different guys like Method Man, Capadonna.
Yeah.
And I was a huge Raekwon fan.
Okay.
So I would say, yeah,
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang Clan.
A
Yeah.
little side tangent off of this one. Ghostface or Ray? I know you said you're a big Ray guy. Ghostface or Ray?
Yeah,
Still
Raekwon.
Ray over Ghost? Yeah. I've always been a Ghost. I've always been a Ghost fan myself. Because Ghost has some crazy shit. He's like sometimes like, what did he just say?
Yeah,
I remember, like,
he does, but
Yeah. Like on the what's the Raekwon, the purple tape? What was it, Cuban Links.
Cuban Links.
Cuban Links.
Yep.
He had some bars on there. I had to rewind. I remember this is cassette tape.
Yep.
I had to rewind. I'm
Yep.
like, what did he just say?
Yeah.
And no matter how much I couldn't comprehend. I knew the words you were saying, but what is
Yeah.
he trying to say? You know what I mean? He always said some crazy stuff. He made it sound fly. So
I might even have still in my possession, I have to go look for it, the XXL cover of when Raekwon was on there and he had the diamond.
the tarantula.
The tarantula.
The tarantula piece. I remember that, bro. Yeah, that was crazy. Double XL, damn, that's taking it back.
Yeah.
That's taking it back. We're really aging ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no doubt.
All right, fire back at you. Because I know you're a music head. Let's go easy. Nas or Jay-Z?
That's not easy, actually. That is not easy. Damn. Nas or Jay-Z. Okay. When Nas first came out to me, I've never heard anyone rap like that ever.
Yes.
And this
Yes.
is going back like 1994.
Yes.
Between his cadence and the way he's putting words together, I've never heard anyone rap like that before. Maybe Rakim might have been somewhat close to that. But if we're just looking on totality, nowadays I'm probably more a Jay-Z fan than Nas.
Okay.
The projects that Jay-Z's put out, and even just the moves he's made in terms of business as a black
Yeah.
man, just stand out way more than Nas. And Nas still puts out good shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Still puts out some good stuff, but it's like, in terms of we're looking at totality, and more recent, I have to say more a Jay-Z fan. And Jay-Z put out classics even back when Nas was there.
Yeah, he was,
That's why
yeah.
it's a tough one, because
Yeah,
they were almost
yeah.
neck and neck. But I was definitely more a Nas fan. We're talking about It Was Written. We're talking about It Ain't Hard to Tell. Things like that was crazy back in 94, 95, 96. But like Jay-Z's just been killing it. He's just been absolutely killing it nowadays. So you know what I mean? Like,
You think he's going to put out another one anytime soon?
you know what? In the music thing, you don't ever really retire. You know what I mean? He's 50 plus, and the verse he dropped on the Khaled thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's insanity. Dude's 50 something. He's out rapping these teenagers. You know what I'm saying? So I would love another whole album to
Yeah.
come out, or even just a single something. I'd be all over it. But I feel like he has so much stuff going on that he has no passion for it. You know what I mean? He's like, why am I wasting my time rapping when I'm making billions? I'm messing with the NFL, making money. Like he's doing
Yeah.
big things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I would take it, but
Yeah, I always have this feeling that he's going to drop something just to let everyone know that Jay-Z was the original and still can hang with the younger guys right now and kind of bring back hip-hop to a more storytelling type of state.
yes.
And I'm not saying I'm not a fan of the current hip-hop and where it's going, but I'm still old school. I like a nice story.
man.
I like the
man.
cadence of the old school rappers. I just...
Yeah.
Some of that trap and some of the other stuff I just can't get down to
Yeah.
too much. But
Yeah, and not against them. They're doing their thing.
Yeah.
They're definitely doing their thing, but it's just not for me, the stuff nowadays.
Exactly.
And it's with the times. The younger guys are going to cater to more younger artists.
Exactly.
Where the older guys cater to us, more older guys. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense for sure. But yeah, a lot of stuff nowadays, bro, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought, for some reason, I thought that Jay-Z, and I still think he's going to do it, is going to kind of have like the Dave Chappelle type approach where he's going to remind us of all the things that have happened, past and also present,
Okay.
and then bring some of those social issues to life during one of his singles. That's what I thought he was going to do, potentially, because I know him and Dave Chappelle are pretty close, and they feed off of each other for information.
That's exactly what Chappelle did.
So that's where I would hope that he would do that, because I think sometimes we live in a society where if it's not in your face right now, we forget about it. So I think having Jay-Z come back with a nice single would remind everyone, like, yeah, this is where hip hop was kind of taking a shift in.
Yes.
He was like a generational shifter.
Absolutely.
With his
I agree
music.
with that 100%. All right. Got one more throwback as you get back to some more fitness shit here. You said you enjoy doing lower body. Come to squats. Front squats, back squats, goblet squats. Two have to go.
Two have to go?
Two have to go. Which two are gone, and one would be a staple. No matter if it's leg day, I do the squat every damn day. Back squat, front squat,
Goblet.
goblet.
I never really, in my whole lifting time, career, if you want to call it whatever it is, I never really got into front squats.
Okay.
And I'm just starting to get into them now.
I was gonna ask why is that?
It just never occurred to me the importance of it when the sport that I was playing. So a lot of the trainers within basketball would put you in a safer position and safer training dynamic where they're just having you do back squats or box squats. We never really looked at front squats because we were just going for sheer power. I feel personally, front squats are a little bit more for aesthetics.
Okay.
Because we're going to hit the quads a little bit harder.
Yes.
So I'm getting into that phase now because I want aesthetically my legs to look a little bit differently as I age and keep that power. So I would say I would keep back squats. I think that's my overall love-hate relationship lift. So I would get rid of front squats and I get rid of goblets.
Okay, I see. Fair.
I'll throw one back at you. Same thing with legs. One has to go. We're not going to do two. So let's go sumo deadlifts or conventional deadlifts. Or I'll throw three. Or trap bar.
Okay.
Let's go
All
trap
right.
bar
I was hoping
deadlifts.
to throw a trap bar. For me, I would say right after that trap bar. And the main reason why with conventional, for one, sumos I'm not a big fan of because the range of motion is so short that it's like when you see people deadlifting like 600 pounds, it's like, yeah, that's great, but your range of motion is like that long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, it's cool. I know it's going to get more glutes. It might get some adductors for sure. But in terms of technique, the conventional deadlift is the king. But I have trouble doing it because I have long legs, so it's hard for me to kind of sit into it when it's set up.
Yeah.
So then my front kind of goes up more, and my shoulders start caving more when I try to set up. So I don't have the nice neutral spine. But now with trap bar, I'm able to sink right down into it, almost like I'm sitting in a chair. My arms are right next to me, and I get good depth, and my form's are way better. So just in terms of what's effective for me, I'd have to say trap bar for sure. Absolutely.
Nice.
No doubt. Yep. Well, I think that's it. We come to the end of our first episode. More reps. We hope you all enjoyed it. Got some more big things coming soon. More topics, some guests at some point. We have some nice artwork featured at some point that's going to be displayed here from our homie Eclipse. You know what I mean? So stay tuned for all that. Anything else you got to add?
Thank you for rocking with us, and on to the next episode. Please comment and subscribe.
Sir, more reps.